Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live, we're loud, and it is international break. We've got my co-pilot, Harry Trades, back in the house. Harry, good to see you, my man.
Thank you for having me back, mate. Pleasure.
You're back from international duty. You were at the National Stadium watching Wales last night, and good to see you back. And good fettle, my man. And it's International Week, so of course we've got the international specialist that is Garji back on the channel. Garji, good to see you, mate.
Good to see you guys. Thanks a lot for having me here today.
Yeah, it should be some buzz. And Yehonatan, obviously, last time we seen you, it was the opening of this qualifying section, and you know we're getting locked and loaded. There's a lot of stuff going on with Sorare, not just on this game week in particular, but we've got monthly leaderboards, we've got more prizes played out, play spots, Sorare coins, lots of stuff going on. And next weekend, you know, we've seen the little teasers of VR cards, AR cards, and 3D cards, and all that good stuff. Maybe over the next week or two, we're going to start seeing actually these cards showing up in auctions and stuff, and then that's when the prize pools start to bubble and start to get really exciting again. So I think we're on a nice international break here where we can just have some fun, just enjoy the games for what they are, and get ready maybe for next week when it's going to be gloves off time again, and it's going to be fighting to the death on the podiums and everything else, guys. But yeah, since last time I've seen you, I guess, Yehonatan, how have you been, mate? What have you been up to?
I've been really, really well. Enjoying my gallery and fully ready for this international break. I have a lot of cards to play, a lot of lineups. And this game week is exciting, but next midweek is where the real fun begins, because then my matchups are really good. Like this upcoming midweek, I will have the best under 23 lineup there is.
Love it. And what about yourself, Harry boy? Obviously, I was off for a week, and you got some super subs in to cover for me. And then the following week, we didn't line up again, and I was getting super subs in for you. So it's been a while since I've seen you, and it's been a while since we've been on the deadline stream together. So, how's the gallery? How you been? What you been up to?
Yeah, doing well, mate. Not had much luck as far as like under 23s go. You know, on the big sort of weekends. I had that double the Asia spout, didn't I? The back-to-back midweeks, which went really well. But yeah, since then I won a couple of. To be fair, I won a tier 3 in Cap 270 on the weekend. But yeah, other than that, no, I've just kind of been. To be fair, I've been collecting a couple of thresholds. Just sort of going about my business. A couple of super rares, to be fair, super thresholds, and yeah, mate, can't really complain, to be honest. And yeah, in international break, I've managed to win a tier 5 with 2 cards this midweek, which is, takes some doing. I just threw it in there, just hoping that it would collect me some soul coins, but it's managed to get me a cheeky little reward. I think there's 40, 42, 41 cards, and I'm finishing 39th apparently. Enzo captain and Big Bazunu in the net. So yeah, no, I mean, it's a tier 5. It's better than nothing, isn't it? But yeah, excited for this weekend. I've got two lineups going out. And yeah, mate, just excited for, like you said, that the new all the sort of new Champ Euro cards hopefully will be with us next week, I believe, or maybe not all of them, but I know the Premier League's supposed to be launching, isn't it, next week? So yeah, no, I'm just buzzing for things to ramp up again as far as prize pools like you alluded to, and just looking forward to a few things. I just saw that Johnny TH comment there with the NG players, and Johnny, that actually isn't Sorare's fault. It's actually Opta's fault. Which, yeah, I mean, we can blame Sorare all we want, but apparently it's Opta that unfortunately updates those squads. I think I had a similar situation with my Alejandro Balde. Is in the Spain squad. He's sort of set to start, and only today do I see him in my lineup builder. So it's just about being. I know it's annoying, but it's about being savvy sometimes. It's just kind of glossing over every player you have just in case I know it's you want Sorare to do that for you, and I get it, but ultimately it does fall on Opta's shoulders, I guess.
I missed out this midweek. I didn't know Oblak was in a scoreable game. I went into this midweek with nothing. I could have had something.
Yeah.
So I was a wee bit annoyed at that myself.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, it's just it's my own fault. Should have double checked. But I don't know. I just assumed it wouldn't have happened at this point of the game, as it were, But yeah, always double check, as Harry says. Double check the fixtures. Do you have a guy of that nationality that you've not accounted for yet? And
it's normally because they were injured the last international break, right? Or weren't in the squad.
Yeah, that's if they weren't in the squad, they will not show up until.
So like Oblak was injured, wasn't he, for a couple of weeks or months or whatever, wasn't he?
Oh,
so I think that might have fallen in. Yeah, like Balde wasn't in the last Spain squad because he was injured or whatever, so he's now in this one. Doesn't show up, and yeah, that's kind of unfortunately how.
His All Black was playing like San Marino and somebody else rubbish. Like, had 2 great games, and I thought it was a coverage thing.
Okay, yeah.
Croatia come on quite late to my lineup builder, and they're playing like Latvia and somebody else
They've
mins.
got 2. Yeah, Armenia. They have 2 games.
Yeah, so I thought maybe a coverage thing. I didn't realise it was exclusively the injury thing. Sorry, but fair enough. If that's all it seems to be, then yeah, that's kind of you can't fix a problem that's never happened before.
100%.
One of those ones, I guess. But yeah, fist bumps to you as always. A bunch of Sorare scouts and managers from around the world are joining us for the deadline stream today. And we've got a new member to the FC Barcelona member section, STB. Good to see you, my man. Thanks a lot for that. But yeah, fist bumps to everyone that's joining us. And the deadline stream is all about getting ready for the game week. So we're making sure that these things don't happen. We're getting the best players in who have games that we want to be targeting. And, is there any little differential plays we can do, Harry? I was hearing about you pulling out a card with 2 guys midweek. So is there any wee sneaky plays like that we can catch, as well? So I think I've seen this, guys, before we went on. We've been kind of, live shooting the breeze for the first kind of 10 minutes or so. But I think with international football, the first thing I always need to do before I can do anything is I need to look at group tables. I need to see where people are, what is actually going on, who's motivated, who's not, who doesn't care, whatever, and kind of go from there. Normally, we've got a nice wee structure of how we go around this, but, we don't really visit the league tables much. Maybe that's something we'll look at in the future. But is any volunteers to go and get us the group tables, or will I go and grab it?
I've got them on screen if you, well, not all of them, but I can go one by
I have
one.
all of them, if you want. I have them on football.
Have you got them all on one screen?
No, I have them one by one.
Okay, yeah, that looks better. Yeah, do on foot mob. Yeah, that looks a lot better.
That looks slick, doesn't it?
So this is Group A with Scotland.
Yeah.
So Quinny, you out.
I think we can win the group. I think we can win the group.
Easy.
So we get Cyprus away next, and then do we play Georgia? I think we've got England in a friendly or something. No, we've got Cyprus, England in a friendly, and I think we play somebody else. You can click on the fixture and see what the next one is, and then like Georgia, Norway, Spain are obviously all playing each other, and I think if there's the right combination of a draw and nobody beats Spain, I think we're done. I think we're in. We're qualified after these next games, which is unheard of in Scotland. Unheard of.
So Spain
8 points
have
after 4 games, man.
2 games, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they play tonight against Georgia. Well, at 5 o'clock actually against Georgia. So that's a massive game for them. They'll obviously want to go into second. Norway don't play today. I'm sure they play at some point.
Tomorrow.
They play tomorrow, okay. Yeah. And I guess they play. Who do they play then?
Oh no, they play in the midweek. Sorry, they have a friendly.
I was going to say
they have a friendly.
Okay. That makes sense.
So Spain should be able to smash it.
Cyprus as well. Spain should have. Spain are a heavy favourite in that game, albeit away from home. But big favourites for sure.
Yeah. So Group B, we have France, Netherlands, Greece, Ireland, and Gibraltar. And France, all of these teams played yesterday.
Yeah, so they'll play they do play this weekend as well, don't they, to be fair?
On Monday.
So it's Netherlands, Ireland.
Sunday.
Yeah. Netherlands play Ireland. I mean, obviously France will walk this group, but Netherlands need to beat Ireland in this next game to break away from Greece, because Greece have played one more, according to this, and I'm guessing Greece played Gibraltar, do they, this weekend?
Yeah, they play Gibraltar.
Got you, yeah. So you'd have to think that they beat them. So Netherlands and Greece will probably both be on 9 points after this game week, but Greece would have played an extra game. So Netherlands is still in the driving seat, I would say, in that group.
Yeah, and they looked very, very good yesterday against Greece.
Yeah, convincing win against Greece.
Yeah.
100%.
So Group C. We have England, Ukraine, Italy, North Macedonia, and Malta. So England and Italy should qualify, but Ukraine are doing some work.
100%. Sweet. Yeah, England, Ukraine, and then North Macedonia, Italy are played this weekend, right?
Italy against North Macedonia.
Italy
so
normally have
Italy
very, very good records, as do England in the group stages. They normally just batter everyone and run away. But Italy have changed manager. For anyone that's maybe missed it, Roberto Mancini is now the Saudi Arabia national team manager. And Spalletti, who won the season at Napoli, or won the league last season at Napoli, he's now the Italy manager. And Spalletti's promised to bring a bit of that Napoli Scudetto winning football to the Azzurri. So Italy might be a wee bit of a new look Italy, so I think a lot of people, there's been a bit of change in the guard with Italy over the last 6 years. A lot of guys retiring and, a lot of guys kind of phasing out the international stage. And it feels like this kind of little generation that's coming through now, we've seen a good wee bit of form from Chiesa recently, but we all know about the midfielders they've been producing over the last 3 or 4 years, so Italy, they could definitely be a team that maybe outscore projections and stuff like that on previous scoring, because it's a different crop of players and it's a different manager now.
Yeah, important one on that Chiesa situation. He's actually travelled back to Turin. He won't be playing this game week. He was literally one of the only cards I know, or one of the only players I know that's kind of not playing for their national team because of injury this sort of weekend. So England massive favourites, and then it's in Italy, Ukraine probably battle it out, don't they, for second spot?
Yeah, and Ukraine are not playing at home, but we saw with the Shakhtar last season in the Champions League that does not really matter. Like they played very well, even when they played in Poland or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. So, what's that then? Group E?
Group D.
D, sorry. Yeah.
This is your group, Harry.
So this is my group. Yeah, we've had a shocking start. Obviously, 4 games played compared to a Croatia's 2 games played, even though we stole points off Croatia in one of those games. But we play Latvia on Monday. Croatia have 2 games. They play Latvia and Armenia. So you could probably see Croatia go to 10 points, I would say, after this sort of next 4 days or so, 4 or 5 days. But in one game week, of course. So if you've got Croatian players, it's kind of the game week to be playing them, to be honest. Because, that first game against Armenia aren't any mugs, man. They're a decent side. Like Zelarayan, they have some good players in their sort of side. But, they shouldn't be anything for that Croatian team. And then, obviously, us being Wales and Croatia both play Latvia as well. So I don't know who. So Turkey play Armenia tonight.
Yeah, they play Armenia.
Yeah, so that's big for Turkey. If they can, that's actually a really I don't think that's a gimme game for Turkey. It's a good matchup if you're looking at Sorare perspective, but Armenia are definitely they're underdogs to be qualifying here. I would say obviously Croatia are the obvious favourites, but after 4, only 4 points after 2 games. I don't know. Wales got no chance, I don't think, if I'm being completely honest. Just with how things are looking right now, it just don't make sense for them to get into that. Because what would you need to do? Is it top? I know it's top 2, but the third
top 2.
Place,
no, there is no third place, but there is the Nations League. Yeah, that's the other way to qualify. But I am not sure Welsh qualified for the Nations League semi-finals.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably didn't, to be fair. Interesting matchups. But I'd say Croatia's the sort of the best out of the bunch, I would say, from that group.
Yeah.
I think Armenia is a banana skin this weekend, because sitting in second, they will be very, very motivated this game week. No matter who they're playing. That's a very tight group, and they're not going to give anything up, I would imagine, over this game week easily. So definitely a hard opponent for sure. But Croatia, similar to Spain, it feels like they've got work to do. Like they need to go out and get the points home.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. Then we have Group E.
Ooh,
so
what a collection of teams that is!
Czechia, Albania, Poland, Moldova, and Faroe Islands.
It's a weird
I
one,
believe
isn't it?
some of
Poland
these
won last
teams,
night, right?
Yeah, they played last night. Poland won 2-0 against Faroe Islands, something like that.
And then we've got Faroe Islands, Moldova, Albania. So Poland play Albania then on Sunday, I believe.
On Sunday.
One of the, decent match. I don't know, man. I mean,
all these teams have played 4 games each. They're all dead level, and that group is mad tight. Even Moldova, Moldova are on 5 points after 4 games.
Mental.
That's unheard of, man.
I know, that is nuts.
So this is a fun one.
And they will play now Faroe Islands. They should be like on 8 points. They should win this game.
Yeah. But the only sort of, I guess there's Czech and Polish sort of, S5 players. I can't think of any Moldovians, if that's even a word, and Albanians. There's a couple of Albanians.
Yeah, there are Albanians, but there is no one from the Faroe Islands.
Moldovans.
There might be someone from Moldova.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird group that is. Very weird.
Austria, Belgium, Sweden, Estonia, and Azerbaijan.
So Austria doing a bit of
Sweden,
Scotland here,
Estonia.
Storming away with it early.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more game played, though. So, yeah. I mean, it's all, still up for... Well, actually, Sweden, man. Only 3 points from 3 games. That's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really bad for Sweden. They really need to win against Estonia to make them get 6 points.
Because Belgium play Azerbaijan, so you can call that a 3-pointer, if we're being honest. Great matchup for them. So they'll be on 10 points, 4 games played, and then Austria play Sweden. Would that be next midweek? Yeah.
Yeah, in the midweek.
Yeah. So that'll be on next midweek. So that's a massive game, actually, for both, I guess. More so Sweden, but I don't even think... I don't know. Yeah, they'd be on 9 points if they win their next 2 games, and Austria already on 10, obviously. So
yeah, but if Sweden win the 2 games and Austria lose to Sweden, they will be Austria will be on 10 and Sweden will be on 9. So it will be very tight.
Behind. Very, very tight. But yeah, that Belgium matchup seems like one of the OP matchups this game week. It has to be, right?
Yeah, and they have all the Belgium team is covered by Sorare, and they have players like Duke who amazing players.
Yeah, 100%.
So this will be very interesting. Then we have Group G: Hungary, Serbia, Montenegro, Lithuania, and Bulgaria.
Soboslai's free kick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. Was that last night? It must have been last night. It was a topper. It's an absolute worldie.
Yeah, I believe it was last night.
No, well, he didn't get given a goal last night, and I don't understand how. I saw the free kick.
I don't know if it was saying what a goal from Soboslai at it again or something.
No, so Varga and Willy Orban scored yesterday for Hungary. It must have been a different time because I did see the free kick, but I looked on SO5 and I was like, well, why hasn't he got a goal? And he doesn't. He has a 15 AA.
Maybe it was a wee throwback for us.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, Hungary beat Serbia yesterday, which is a massive result, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Serbia looked very bad.
Huge. And then Serbia then play Lithuania.
Yes, and all the Serbia players basically moved to Saudi.
Yeah,
Milenkovic, Savic, Mitrovic, all of them.
So you've just got like Tadic, Pavlovic, a couple of the boys left in Europe. But yeah, still a great matchup. I mean, Lithuania, obviously one of the weaker sides in that group, if not the weakest, alongside Bulgaria. And then, Montenegro played Bulgaria. So, yeah, I mean, that's a dead rubber. No one really cares about that one. But the Serbia one could be a good SO5 sort of pick if you've got a lot of Serbian boys in there.
Yeah.
And they need to win after losing last night. They have to win.
So, Group H: Finland, Denmark, Slovenia,
another quite open group.
Northern Ireland, who looked awful, and San Marino, who are just the worst national team in the world.
Look at this crazy group. Kazakhstan on 9 points. Crazy. Slovenia, Denmark 10, Finland 12. This is, again, there's no big giant nation in here either. And there's obviously this group has 6 teams in it. The other ones have had 5. But, 4 teams sweating in amongst it for 2 spots. This is quite competitive as well.
So Denmark are going to go through. They just had a rough start to the campaign, but they will go through. I think it's between Finland, Slovenia, and Kazakhstan, really. Yeah, with Slovenia playing against San Marino, they will be second in the group after this week.
I know they played San Marino, but Denmark's SO5 scores last night were incredible.
Yeah,
I think Ericsson scored like 130 combined, or 135. 2 or 3 decisives and like 50 AA or something stupid like that. But yeah, they play Finland, who are no mugs, but they should still beat them. I'd hope. And then Slovenia play San Marino, so that could be one of those sort of good SO5. Good SO5 matchups, obviously.
Yeah, and there are some Northern Ireland players, and they looked awful yesterday. Like Peacock Farrell got like 2.5 points, something like that.
No. What was their score then? Who did they lose to?
They
Slovakia.
lost 4-2 to Slovenia, and he did not make a single save in the entire match.
Oh my god! Yeah, we don't need that, do we? If we're Northern Irish, we do not need that.
So this is my group. Switzerland are clear favorites; they will qualify for sure.
Yeah,
and then it is between Romania and Israel, Kosovo. So when the draw was made, everyone thought it would be between Kosovo, Israel, and Romania, but Kosovo are not playing that well. So Israel against Romania tomorrow will be a huge match for both the national teams. If we win, we will probably qualify, but it is a game on the qualification basically, because Andorra and Belarus are pretty bad, and Kosovo does not look that good.
Is this the first time you're playing Romania?
In recent years, yeah, it is. But I'm sure
have you still got them in this group? I mean, but like.
Oh yeah.
Back to back.
This is the first. This is the first match against them in this group. Yeah.
So still have them at home to come. So an away game, this is really important in that Israel team. Obviously, we've been on the streams a few times, and Israel youth teams and such, which is a lot of the players that are in the main team now, had quite a lot of success with some very important matches. So I think the Israel squad's probably going to be coming into this quite confident, and I think Sorare-wise, obviously, we're probably rooting for Israel more than Romania, quite clearly, in terms of the cards that we're all holding and whatever. But this is definitely one of the cup finals of the game week, isn't it? That's going around.
Yeah,
it's a real 6-pointer.
For sure, that's a 6-pointer. And Switzerland are going to dominate Kosovo. Like I can't see any.
Yeah, that's another massive SO5 discrepancy there, I would say. Switzerland, Kosovo.
Yeah, and Andorra against Belarus, like there is the Andorran keeper, Iker Alvarez, is under 23 keeper. I believe he's in my opinion, he's the second best goalkeeper for this weekend in under 23.
Probably is, yeah. Matchup wise, definitely.
Great
and
100%.
The last group, Portugal, Slovakia, Luxembourg, Bosnia, Iceland, and Liechtenstein.
Yeah, Portugal 2 fixtures. They've got who've they got?
Luxembourg are on 7 points.
Luxembourg, honestly, Yehonatan, you can speak on them because we know they've got some good players, man.
Yeah, we and Daria
have sneaky. They're sneaky, I'm telling you.
They are not bad. They have a lot of talent in the squad. Like they have 18-year-old.
Like a load of Bundesliga players playing.
Yeah, a lot of Bundesliga or Austrian Bundesliga. Chanot, who Quinny well from his time in the NYFC.
Yeah, big Chanot.
Decent players. Don't get me wrong, that win against Bosnia last sort of international game week was a bit of a snatch and grab type of thing, but they still managed to beat them, and that could be like that. That's Bosnia basically out of this sort of tournament. The group stage, I would say, because 3 points from 4 games. I know they got Liechtenstein next, so that's, you could say 6 points from 5, but I think Bosnia are way out of it. It's just Slovakia and Luxembourg probably, isn't it, for second place?
Yeah, for sure. Portugal will qualify with all the points they can have. They will not lose a single game in this group.
No.
So who's the second Portugal game this game week? Because they play Slovakia, Luxembourg. And then it is Luxembourg, okay.
Yeah.
So let's say, they'll be on 18 points. They'll be flying.
Yeah.
Luxembourg do play 2 games as well. Do they play Slovakia then, as well as
Portugal? Iceland.
No, I believe they play Iceland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that'll be big. If they can get a result there, that could... Slovakia are probably going to lose against Portugal tonight.
Yeah.
So they'll both be on 10 points technically on, going into that sort of 6th game. Disappointing from Bosnia, man. Really disappointed.
I can't believe Luxembourg have got more points than Bosnia and Iceland put together. after 4
And
games.
Liechtenstein.
And Liechtenstein.
I think both Bosnia and Iceland are in that transition phase of their national team. So they have a lot of young players without experience, and all the old players are now getting not good enough, we can say, to play in that level. So, for example, they have Bosnia have like Pjanic or players like that carried the national team for a long time, and now they're not in the level anymore. And Luxembourg all their players now just are good enough to compete in this level. So it is really interesting.
Yeah. I think we've got I've definitely got a lot of flavour for this game week after looking at these groups now, in terms of probably what teams to maybe lean into, back away from, etc., which I'm feeling pretty good about. But one thing I'm not feeling good about is there's 80 to 100 Sorare scouts and managers from all over the world joining us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. And on YouTube, we've only got 15 likes, guys. We need to get that number up. It should be up at 67. That should be the first target we should have. Let's get up to 67 likes as quick as we can. And yeah, so take your phone out of your pocket, open the chat up, drop us a wee emoji for the game week, who you're supporting, maybe a wee flag or whatever. Hit the like button on this stream and then put your phone back in your pocket and carry on with business as we get to the deadline. So what we need to do now is we need Harry Boy and we need the matchups tab. We need to know exactly who is stacked up. Now, what we've not seen in any of those qualification tabs is South America, which is slightly different. But from what's at the top of the matchups tab, I don't think we need much context around that, do we?
No, not at all. Yeah, Bolivia at home for Brazil, obviously in the World Cup qualifying group stage. Yeah, I mean, they're obviously missing a couple of boys. Obviously, Vinny won't be playing. But other than that, they're pretty full strength, I would say, realistically. Well, there's no Lucas Paqueta in there, but he is fit, I guess. He's just not going to play ahead of
Paqueta
Neymar.
is not in the squad.
He's not, is he?
He's not in the squad.
Yeah, the betting stuff. Well, maybe it wasn't the betting stuff, but I know obviously Anthony's out, and so there are a couple out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the matchup of the game week, whether that's in the both European and obviously the South American side of things. I mean, yeah, and I think then Bolivia then play Argentina, right, in the next game week, but it's in Bolivia, so yeah, man.
When it is in Bolivia, they have a chance to not get smashed. But if they're playing away from home without the height that they have at home, there is no chance for them to win anything. It will end like 6-0.
I wonder if anyone knows if Carlos Lampe is going to be playing for Bolivia, because I don't have him anymore, King Lampe, but he was the Bolivia keeper. That was part of his thing. I know he's really old, but if anyone doesn't know, he was playing in Argentina and moved to Bolivia, and he's got a card on Sorare. So maybe... I know that's 2 really bad games, Brazil and Argentina, but what I'm thinking is, after that, you've played Brazil and Argentina, who else have they got everywhere else? It's not going to be Brazil and Argentina anymore, so maybe a wee blue X Lampe out there, something to think about. But yeah, Brazil reigns supreme. And look at those statistics that are forecasted. It should be a wholehearted 5-0, 4-0, full-blooded Samba affair, shouldn't it, really? When you look at that lineup, 3 R's up top, Rodrigo, Richarlison, Rafinha. They're all kind of really trying to get their names and faces into the squad ahead of the Neymars and the Vinnies and whoever else might be kind of floating around. So a lot to prove for them. I know Neymar will be featuring the number 10 role, but yeah, quite a good Brazil team, it must be said. And I don't think a lot of them, like Renan Lodi, Danilo, like some of these guys are not necessarily SO5 superstars, but could be this week.
I mean, yeah, Gabriel obviously haven't even been playing for Arsenal recently, so yeah, there's some interesting sort of players in there. But yeah, man, if you've not got a couple of Brazilian players in your all-star lineups and so on, I think it's going to be a really tough weekend for you, if I'm being honest. Really, really tough.
And then second up, we've got Bosnia. Now, I don't actually think we have a Bosnia predicted team.
No, there is no Bosnia at the moment.
Do we have one on... if you were to... Can you click on something there? Okay, I'll try and find it. On Sorare data. I wonder if there's one on that. Now, I don't think there's much reliability in some of these. So if I did my lineup builder last night, and if you look at the Scotland projections, you can tell that people aren't trying to predict the team. They're just
Scotland
clicking.
projection was hilarious. I'm sorry.
It was crazy. It was, I can't remember how ridiculous it was, but it was like Billy Gilmore was going to start and McGregor would be centre forward and whatever. So we do have a bit of a team on the projected lineups here. So I don't know what to make of it, but 99% of
they
Sorare
can't-
data users believe that Sehic will play. Kolasinac, Hadzimetovic, Dedic.
I think
Tahirovic.
Sage will start, but they can't play with Kolasinac, Dedic, and Gazibegovic in the same lineup. This is 3 fullbacks in one lineup. So it's probably going to be Dedic and Kolasinac.
But Kolasinac could play centre back, I think.
But he's
Kolasinac.
not playing center back for the national team, from what I know.
Okay. I wouldn't rule it out. I think Dedic is a right back, and you reckon Gazibegovic is a full back, yeah?
Yeah, Dedic can play either side, and Gazibegovic is mainly playing as the right back for his team.
Cool. And then Pjanic, as you say, he's been in UAE for a while, chilling out with his slippers up. Big Dzeko and Prevelic. Oh, sugar. So not a bad Bosnia team, certainly. Definitely Big Dzeko. He could get a hat-trick in a game like this, couldn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Apparently Neymar is L15-0, by the way. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
because he was injured at the end
you
of
got
last
no
season.
hope then.
He's
You've got
cat
no
mode
hope
cheat.
then.
Cat mode cheat. It's a £350 this week if you get Neymar.
That's a joke. That's actually a joke. Mental.
It only affects cat mode. It only affects cat mode. Why do you care?
I know, yeah. Well, yeah, fair. What about Greece? Greece played last night, I believe, right?
They did. They lost 3-0 to the Netherlands.
Yeah. Okay, so they play San Marino. I mean, it is a massive fixture.
They
How
play
many
Gibraltar.
Greek players? Gibraltar, sorry. How many Greek players do we have? Obviously, goalkeeper,
We have
Pavlidis.
Lachodimos. We have a couple. We have Tsimikas, Pavlidis.
This is the team that
Basaketas.
played last night.
Yeah. So there are a couple.
Basaketas, yeah. Oh, my boy Siopis, my Cardiff City boy. I tell you what, I know you got booked last night. He is an absolute baller, can I just add? I went to watch him
Siopis.
play live. Mate,
Yeah.
he's unbelievable. Have a look at his scores for Fenerbahce.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
And Greece
Look at
normally.
that.
Yeah, he's like 20 quid as well. He's literally
Just
like
that.
20 quid.
Just ban
Yeah, no, I didn't mean this game week, but
Yeah, I'm just ban. Nice, Andy. That's
it's
so
got up
good.
to 31 quid now. He actually is really, really good player. He actually scored 87 the last time they played Gibraltar or whoever they played. Yeah.
Taxi Fontas in from Chicago or wherever it is. GG in from Atlanta off the bench. Got firepower, man.
decent team.
Pavlidis.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that plays in Holland as well. I can't remember who's the other one in Holland.
Duvikas. But he's
Duvikas,
not in the
who's
squad.
He's at Celta now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not
Yeah,
in the squad.
Yeah, they've got some strikers,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a good team. Yeah. Decent team. So yeah, watch out for the Greek stacks.
Yeah, against Gibraltar. That should be fun. And then Slovenia next, which is
Against San Marino.
Oblak.
It's All Blacks, boys, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. So I can look at the team that they played last night or something. And again, I didn't know they were playing, so I didn't get this myself. But that's the team against Northern Ireland. They won 4-2, like you say. Oblak on 51. Sprorer with 2 goals. Sesko running the show.
Sesko was amazing last night. It was amazing. He's
This
such a good
guy's-
striker.
He must have like Neymar relative international figures, because ever since this guy's had a Sorare card, he's been getting capped for this team. And obviously we've seen him kind of come through at Salzburg. He's now at Leipzig, and he is just always doing bits internationally, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a menace. He's insane. And this Sporer guy was not bad either. He was decent.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's been around for ages. He's got like sporting cards from like 1819 or 1920. He's been around for a while. Played in the
Panathinaikos.
championship.
Yeah, he's playing for Panathinaikos, so you will
Yeah.
have some utility for him in the
not
I
bad.
believe Europa League.
100%.
And there is this
Yeah,
guy
so-
who got 1.5 points. A lot of people, if you look at his price graph, a lot of people got him for this game week.
Oh,
Hilarious.
no way.
Oh, ouch.
And they got 1.5 points in a 4-2 victory.
Oh, yeah. There it is. The spike.
Minus 33 AA.
That's good going. Very good going, isn't it?
Yeah. Unlucky, big man. Oof, ouch. Ouch. 1.5.
I'm just trying to work out. So this does it? I'm trying to work out if this lineup tab allocates for like the 2 games. I don't think it does because
it has the 2
Croatia played
games.
Latvia. So where's Croatia's other game then?
It is in the bottom
they played-
probably because they have a tougher game.
What,
Like
against
it does
Armenia?
not add them together.
No, of course, but it can't be that tough of a game, is it? Against, I mean, I know Armenia are decent, but they're nowhere near it, to be honest. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way it's that bad. Well, there's no way it's that bad of a fixture, is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
So
There's
Oblak
no
is
way
expected to
Croatia away to
start.
Armenia is just about better than Wales away to Latvia. I'm sorry. Yeah. So now I'm disregarding everything Sora Data's telling me now. Sorry, lads. I'm completely over it. But Croatia home to Latvia is a massive.
So Data had Bazuno as a AAA fixture for this game week, and
yeah,
he's
that's
playing
what I'm
France.
saying. I know. Well, no, they have him as a AAA for the Netherlands game this weekend.
Oh, the Netherlands, yeah.
Ouch.
So what hope have you got if you're trying to tell me that Bazuno has a AAA fixture against the Netherlands, who just won 3-0 last night against Greece? Yeah,
definitely not all about that. Is it Croatia we're looking at next then?
Yeah, Croatia, Latvia.
Do we have it? Oh, we do. I just put the All Black team on screen there because somebody was just putting the fear into me there. I think it was just trolling, but All Black will play. This Croatia team looks hot to trot. They've got the points to make up. We were speaking about that when we looked at the group. And at home to Latvia, this should be an exhibition, really, shouldn't it? You would think on paper, like Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic, and Pasalic just feeding up Big Pekovic and Ivanusic up there. Never mind what they'll do from set pieces and with their bench as the game goes on. That could be a stonker of a game, couldn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Loads of people have Livakovic in goals, Satalo, Gvardiol, obviously, in 23s. Yeah, this will be.
And Juranovic with his crosses is a very good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, JJ loves a bit of Croatia action. I think they're really good. I'm a big Pasalic fan. He's just a hard guy to buy because even in this, he's not even nailed on between Vlasic and Lovra Mayer. That's a very competitive spot that the Croatians have got for that kind of creative midfielder.
Yeah.
And then on Ivanusic, you've got Perisic, and then you could play Borna Sosa. So very, very good squad. And you've got Kramaric or Pekovic. I prefer Kramaric.
A lot of depth.
Yeah.
I picked up a Modric in like last week or something. Not even for the international break, just because I wanted it for like collection bonus for my Real Madrid boys. But obviously, home to Latvia, baby. He's captain material for me.
Aye. Well, these international ones are great. Like, I won that Shane Duffy, and like his cap, he's playing Holland, which is rubbish, right? But his cap's like 34, and he makes a team happen because his cap's so low. And it's just like, oh, cool, just a wee international surprise. You always just take them when they come, don't you? I guess that Modric is a good one for the collection kind of double bubble you've got there. I've got Universitario on screen, just for anyone that's interested, by the way. Then we'll move on from it. But sorry, on you go, Harry.
No, I was just going to say that Pico in the chat said the Kramaric is probably forgotten about, I guess, in that front three as well. So, who obviously scores a load of goals for that Croatian team.
Yeah, he's very decisive heavy for Croatia. Like, not just goals. His goal record at international level is decent, but gets assists and stuff. And he's no shy of taking a penalty as well,
Yeah, very good player. Very good player on this day. Belgium, Azerbaijan. This is going to be a big one. Like Yehonatan says, basically every player, I believe, has a card.
Yeah.
Obviously missing De Bruyne, but is that going to matter too much against Azerbaijan? Probably not. But you know what? It's weird. Like, playing away from home in these fixtures, lads, like I don't think you can take it. Like, I'm not saying Belgium won't win, but like, don't be surprised that like you won't see like massive scores. You're going away to these countries sometimes, and players just don't fancy as much as they do at home, and it don't matter who you're playing against. Where they got 11 men behind the ball. Sometimes it's tough to break down, and that's not to say that their SO5 scores won't be like good because they'll be keeping the ball and whatever, but. Lukaku probably scores a couple, doesn't he, if we're being honest? Doku's probably a scare in under 23s, but I look at the rest of that. Are you that scared of the rest of the players? Really, SO5-wise? Trossard, even though he's. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like wow.
Siata can be good for under 23.
Yeah, Thiate could be a bit of a but then when you're comparing him to like a Gvardiol at home to whoever, do you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't even. I don't think it even comes into the question. Not saying it's not a good matchup away to Azerbaijan, but you just got to be careful sometimes. Away from home, in this sort of competition, gets a bit dicey for even the better, the better teams on paper,
And the Belgian manager now is Tedesco, who we've liked on Sorare for a little while. Brought us a great Spartak Moscow team and a wee bit of excitement in Leipzig for a little while. So this Belgium team will be kind of set up to attack, and big Lukaku could be like prime Sobolev this game week, which might be fun. But I think I don't think it'll be that high scoring on the score line, but I do think SO5 wise, like every one of those players have got the potential to be hitting 80. But the thing with Belgium is that they've got a very deep bench as well, and maybe maybe just depending on how long Azerbaijan can hold out for. Maybe if you were going to be playing one of these star players, hoping they get a hat trick or something, maybe they just miss out on the action depending on when it happens in the match. Because away from home against this kind of team, maybe it's not a frantic game from the kickoff, but it's later on. Maybe the bench come on and make the difference or something that can happen.
And no Courtois, no De Bruyne, so maybe the dressing room will have some better, there won't be that tense. Yeah, better morale.
Yeah, for sure. Few options in that team as well. And definitely not the same level of Belgium that we've seen over the last qualification cycles. Obviously no Hazard anymore as well. This is quite widely reported at the moment. He's kind of taking his retirement. But
he's enjoying his pints, isn't he?
Yeah, that's nice. He said he's away for a pint.
And we got Serbia away to Lithuania, who obviously lost last night to Hungary. They'll be very hungry for a victory here. Sorry.
We don't have them on Play Sharper, so if they've played already, we'll see if we've got a team from this week we can look at.
Yeah, you should have the team from yesterday.
Yeah, we do.
Expect some changes, though. If they just lost to Hungary at home, this team won't be, maybe not the front three, maybe, but I don't know. There might be a couple of changes, but you never know. Jovic, maybe.
Vlahovic was awful yesterday.
Was he?
Yeah, he missed a couple of big chances.
I think if there is a change, that Zivkovic will probably start over Radonjic. I think that change will probably happen. They've done that at half-time, it looks like. So I think I'd expect him to start that Zivkovic. He's pretty tighty. He's a blue X. He plays at PAOK. So you don't really get much use out of him. I don't think maybe Milinkovic could come into defence or something. But yeah, I think Mitrovic, Vlahovic, Tadic, I don't think they can mix that up too much. That's just their best guys, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Someone's asking, sorry if it's been asked, but how do you think Neymar will do? Minimum 100, maximum 100.
Yeah, Recommand said in the chat Neymar won't play, so you have to look into that, maybe search on Twitter.
Really? Nah, he's playing. He did a press conference yesterday saying he was slagging off the French league, wasn't he? Saying the Saudi league's better.
Yeah.
Stuff. There's no way he wouldn't be doing press. Yeah, he's definitely playing. I know he's been injured, but that's just Neymar for you, isn't it? Always seems to play for Brazil.
Yeah, plays always for Brazil no matter what.
Yeah.
And if he's there, he's there. I think he's doing it. All the predicted things I've seen for the Brazil team have Neymar in it before this game and have Ederson playing. So unless something's changed, like obviously that's what the deadline stream's all about. That's what we're here for. But the next game we had there was Italy. So Harry, you've just taken us on. You're looking at your wee Greek guy there. But
he's already on
we'll get the Italy team up. So Italy are away to, I forgot again. Oh yeah, North Macedonia.
Who does have some cards? We have the goalkeeper Dimitrievski. We have Nisbardi.
Yeah.
They play Malta in the midweek, so that will be interesting. But Italy should smash.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that's it. I think David Taylor's he's really got his finger on the pulse for this one.
They'll be like 5-0 up by like half time probably this game week, and then he won't play the other game because he probably has had a couple of nights out and doesn't really need to go to away. Who they play in the next game? Is it Peru away or something? Or they're away to someone?
I'm not too sure, but yeah, he'll be sitting out in the away trip. He'll do the home leg and get a cap, get a couple of goals on the ratio, you know, and then go back to Saudi Arabia and into rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are playing Peru away.
Yeah.
But this Italy team looks pretty dynamic. This Italy team looks like it could be a bit exciting. It looks a bit different to the Mancini team, I guess. Like, we've still got Immobile in there, but Brian Cristante coming into midfield alongside what looks to be Barella and Tonali. That'll be a different dynamic to what we've really seen, you know, especially not just because there's no Verratti in there, but I think the way the whole midfield will actually pan out, it will probably feel quite different as well. And over the last couple of years, Italy, they've kind of relied on guys like Chiesa, even Moise Kean when he's come in. You know, they've always had somebody maybe kind of trying to break the team with pace. But this just feels more like, this kind of looks like Lazio up front. Saccagni, Immobile, and Politano. You know, I mean, obviously one player removed there, you know, Raspadori. It doesn't feel like, you know, Balotelli, Del Piero. It's, you know, there's a wee bit of, I like Immobile as much as the next guy, but maybe, I don't know, the forward line doesn't look that good. But it looks like it should be going and attacking. Fullbacks that'll go and press, and midfielders that'll go box to box and kind of do it all. What's your guys' thoughts looking at this Italy team?
I think the back line looks very good.
One at a time, lads.
Go on, Harry.
It's a decent team. It's not great, but it's going to beat North Macedonia away, you'd hope. But yeah, I don't know. Never know, though. On the counter, North Macedonia, I mean, DeMarco, we know, doesn't really like defending. I don't know if Di Lorenzo does, but I'm sure he does a bit more than DeMarco. So, you know, North Macedonia have some decent players. Almas, who obviously plays with a load of these boys. I don't know. Again, away from home, you just never know. It's a couple of banana skins. You know, not every one of these massive teams are going to win this week, like this game week. You just know it. So it's just kind of avoiding that one or two that don't, and obviously hoping your SO5 scores don't suffer because of it. You know.
Yeah, and we have seen Italy slip up and lose to little teams. I think it was the World Cup qualification when they did not go through because of a loss in the 120th minute. So you never know with Italy.
Yeah. And one nation that I think a lot of people have tried to maybe think about, oh, could I get a wee Turkey stack on the go? Just for the amount of people that have Galatasaray and Fenerbahce fingerprints these days, is Turkey. And, you know, the Turkey team is, you know, if you try and break it down and try and forecast it, it's actually a very difficult team to pick for a few different reasons. And this is what it looks like will probably be shaping up for this game here, which is a pretty tidy team, it must be said.
Yeah, this team looks good. Like Under Ilmaz, I don't know how to say the third man's name, but it looks really good.
Yeah, they're finding a bit of form, Turkey. They look great when we played them. Obviously, no Arda Güler, but other than that, they've still got a lot of quality in wide areas, pace, really good midfield, and a solid enough defense, I think. And yeah, like I said, Armenia, no mugs, but Turkey should. I think we'll see some big Kochu scores and Kalhanoglu and Bunda and stuff. Yeah, there's some good boys in here, definitely.
I'm not sure how many caps Ozcan's got, but he's a German youth international. I didn't know he'd made the switch, so that might be kind of recent. And if he's coming in here next to Kochu, well, and Hakan Kalhanoglu at home, like all three of them might rack up 100 passes. You know, never mind what else happens in the game. So that could be quite formidable. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Demiral, but he's moved into Red X territory or something like that.
Yeah,
I think in the window. Yeah, so he's decent. And Soyuncu not in the team anymore. Kabak as well. So they've got a wee bit going on there, Turkey, and that's a decent team. Unlikely we're going to see many stacks in there. It's maybe a team more that Sorare-wise, maybe you've got a Kalhanoglu or a Kokchu or a Cengiz Under, and you're just maybe using them as a star piece into a team. You know?
Yeah. 100%. It's your boys next, Quinny.
Oh, the Scotland. Somebody asked me if Shea Adams would start. Now, I'm not the guy to come to for Scotland's predicted anythings, to be quite honest with you. So let's refer to this. And we'll take it from the chat as well. Now, I kind of thought, yeah, back five kind of picks itself like this. Maybe there's room for McKenna to come in somehow, but I do doubt it, to be honest with you. I think it probably would be Hendry. Hickey starting is where, if you didn't start Hickey, maybe that's where Porteous moves over to that side and allows a bit of room for something else to happen. But again, I don't think that'll happen under Steve. The pace, And then, I suppose Gilmore against Cyprus, you're going to dominate 85% of the ball probably. So McGregor and Gilmore could just be, really controlling this. I think this is going to be a great game for Scotland cards, to be quite honest with you. I think we're going to win 2 or 3-0. And I think all the decisives will be shared out probably quite nicely also on top of that. So, I know there's a few Scotland stacks around for sure. So maybe something you see pop out. I've got obviously some cards I'll be playing in a little bit of a stack for it. But I think away at Cyprus, this is maybe a wee bit for me underranked SO5 wise. Maybe not scoreline wise, but my headset's just died, sorry.
Away to Cyprus is not an easy game.
I know, but
they have a good atmosphere there.
Yeah, but I don't think I think we'll keep a clean sheet and see as long as you don't get booked. As long as you don't get booked, I think the scores are there to be gotten. With pass counts and chances into the box that will be made and stuff like that. And I just think the possession will be so superior because these are even the ones that aren't, they're not that far removed. But this is basically like a Premier League team that Scotland has. Imagine, let's just say Aston Villa, because they've been playing Europe Conference League qualifiers. Imagine it was Aston Villa against a team from Cyprus. It's still going to be like 4-0 or something. It might not be like 8 or 10 or something mental, maybe 3-0. But that's kind of how I'm looking at it, because that's just the standing of the squad, kind of is like that. Maybe Aston Villa's a bit much in terms of the Premier League gauge, but it's just it's basically the level of the squad, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, this squad definitely looks very good.
Peter's here to give us the Turkey lineup, so feel free to drop it in the lineup into the chat, mate, if you want. We had it on screen earlier. I think we looked at the last game, so it was really just, I think, if you believe there's going to be many changes from the starting 11 that played Hungary, Peter, then that would be definitely. And Siopis has now became a bit of a favourite on the channel, it seems. So if we can find out more about him, so we can fall in love with him more, that would be nice. I think SSV's got the request in there. But I think a good game for Scotland. And then Spain, like we mentioned about when we were previewing the groups, they've got it all to do in the next couple of games. They've got a lot of ground to cover, and they need to get their campaign in action. And away to Georgia, I think away again, Georgia's not an easy place to go, but Spain bring Spain. If they play with this kind of level of team, it's got to be a really good SO5 win for Spain, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think we have seen Georgia in the under 21 Euro, and we have seen the atmosphere in the stadium. They're filling the 45,000 seat stadium there, and it's not an easy place to go to. And but yeah, Spain should win there. I don't know if it will be that easy, and I think the matchup tab reflects that.
Fair.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting Spain team. There's pace in there, though. There's, it has the sort of, the capabilities of beating sort of probably what will be a bit of a low block, I guess, from Georgia, if they need to sort of play around them rather than behind them. So I don't know. I think they'll beat them, but yeah, it might not be too convincing.
This was the last Georgia team that played Scotland.
Yeah, I would say Dovitashvili will start. He was coming off the bench last game. But other than that, I can't really see any change.
Yeah, decent enough team. There's a few players there, but I just think Spain is a unit. I just don't see them not winning like 2-0 or something like that. Maybe 3-1 or whatever. But
it will really depend on Kvaratskhelia and how he performs.
Yeah, fair. I'd go along with that as well.
Above average have said, why does Sorare have NG for Georgia and Spain? It's because of Opta. We mentioned it at the start of the stream, but yeah, basically Opta don't update the lineups. But I know my Balde is showing as a game right now, so I don't know whether, I know someone said that Rodri isn't, but he does have a game.
Rodri is showing like a long game.
He is showing?
Yeah, he is. That's really
okay,
weird.
Decent. So yeah, but that is the reason. It's because of Opta, basically, lads.
Nice. Well, we finish off after the England game, or
we need to do the Israel game.
We need to do Israel. I was going to say that. We'll do
Spain,
Portugal.
England, Portugal, Israel.
Portugal, Israel. Yeah. Excellent.
We'll skip England.
Let's see. So what we got next? Sweden away to Estonia. So we should have some Sweden cards. Let's see if we get a predicted lineup. No, we don't. Let's go and see. I don't think they played, did they?
No, but we can
Didn't
look at
play, no.
the last break.
I'm
I
okay
don't
with
think
skipping
there
it, to be
should
honest
be.
with you. I'm just going to
Yeah,
them
we
and
can skip
getting them.
Sweden. England is actually quite interesting because no one knows how it will look like.
Yeah.
Like Harry Maguire, if he will start.
So the England
Getting
team's
50,
full of
yeah.
question marks, isn't it? All over the place.
Big Lewis Dunk. Woohoo!
If Pickford starts, it will be a joke.
I think Dunk. I think they should give Ramsdale a shot. I think you're right there. I think Dunk is
Ramsdale's going to get dropped for Arsenal. Never mind England.
fair, but the Pickford's.
Pickford
Pickford
does
is
well
just
for England,
cool.
lads. I don't think you can't really say much. Pickford does well for England.
Yeah, but for his
Sorry
team,
to.
like Everton are one
Well,
of the
he's doing
worst
better
teams
than
in the-
Ramsdale is right now, and that's something you can't even deny. Actually,
True.
That midfield, man.
But they
Like
can have
Bellingham,
Pope.
Maddison.
unbelievable that, isn't it? Bellingham, Rice, Madders, Saka. Yeah, team's
Yeah,
a joke.
the
but,
attack is insane. The back line is really bad for England levels.
yeah, Walker carries that back line for sure right now, I would say. Obviously, Trent. How do you fit Trent in? Trippier. Problem is they've got such good right backs right now, but just not no centre halves, but just a lack of. I know Colwell actually is supposed to be starting. By the way,
That's what I would do.
I heard he's like.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
start
no. Apparently,
Colwell.
Colwell's in. I've heard he's going to make his debut. I don't know whether that was because they were scared that he might have had a bit of an injury, but then they said no, he's going to start. So I don't know if that's changed again.
Oh, maybe he
Let me
plays
know
with
in the
Dunk
chat,
then.
lads. Yeah,
Right
I'm not
connection.
too sure. Trent's injured. Yeah, good point, All. He is injured, and he did pull out. That is a good point. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Bellingham, Rice, Madders, Saka, and Kane, and then anyone of Foden and Rashi on the left, I guess. Yeah, it's a crazy front sort of six, isn't it?
Yeah, and Madison is on form at the moment. He was amazing
Yeah,
for
wow.
Spurs in the last couple of
Same.
weeks.
And Saudi
I love
Jordan.
James, man.
Saudi Jordan's in the team as well.
Saudi Jordan is in somehow.
He's made it over.
He's wangled his way in.
In Ukraine, are the mugs, by the way? And they're not going to be at home, but maybe they're in Poland. I think they do
Yeah,
a lot
in
of
Poland.
games
Yeah,
in
where-
Warsaw, typically.
Poland, yeah.
Zinchenko in
Yeah.
midfield, Ziganikov in number 10, Mudryk on the wing with Yarmolenko. Trubin should be in goals. That's not a bad Ukraine team, is it?
It's a good team, mate. It's a decent team.
You know,
I don't know much about the striker, but the middle three, Tuskadov,
Striker plays for
Mudryk, and
Verona.
Yarmolenko.
he's kind of just
Okay.
breaking in, but he's like 27. He's not young.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
He's a big guy. He's bigger than Maguire. Put it like that.
Ross Irvine said, any good suggestions for a max 44 player? Get Siopis in. Get the boy in. I think he's 44, isn't he? Or maybe 45, I don't know. But yeah, Portugal. Siopis. Yeah, he's got to be starting. The boy.
And in
It's like
Portugal,
Gary Medel.
Portugal have a double game week, so they will have.
yeah.
And the second game is against Liechtenstein.
By the way, massive shout out to Slovakia. This team isn't half bad either. Dubravka, Vavro, Hanko, Lobotka, Hurovsky, Suslov. That's not a bad stack.
Decent team, mate.
It's a fun stack.
Decent team.
Maybe not this week, but
Not against Portugal.
Well, they play,
But they play.
they play double
Liechtenstein.
game week as well. Yeah.
They play Liechtenstein in the second game, so maybe the Slovenia guys can do well. We have Palinia here after his move to Bayern collapsed. We have Joe Cancelo just got to Barcelona. That's a really good lineup for Portugal.
Yeah.
very strong, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm quite
Ronaldo.
surprised to see Danilo Pereira still starting centre back when they've got like talent coming through. Like this guy is just in the way. Get him out the road. Like let
I
Ashley.
think he will start one of the two games. He won't start the two games.
Yeah, just not a fan of Big Danilo, to be honest with you. Especially-
Inacio will start one game, I'm sure.
Yeah. If you've got him
Yeah,
and Antonio
100%.
Silva, play them both, man. Just go for it.
Such big talents.
Good team, though, isn't it? Very, very good team.
Very good. Nice to see Bernardo's in to start as well. I'll get to use him this week. João Cancelo at left back, Dallo, or maybe that'll be the other way around potentially. You never know. Those two, they can play both sides.
Yeah.
And yeah, CR7's on all the penalties and all the free kicks. So whether he's going to score them or not, he's going to be taking them, and that's a play.
He's on throw-ins. He's on everything. Give him all the stats. He needs them all.
That's it.
He needs them all.
And then we've got to finish on Israel-Romania, the cup final of the game week.
Yeah, it won't be high on the matchup tab because it is a very bad match. But the second game we have in the midweek against Belarus should be fun. So we have Glazer in goal. He's the Red Star Belgrade goalkeeper. Daniel Perez on the bench. Dasa, Vitor, Goldberg, and Roy Revivo, who we have seen in the Under-21 Euro and the Under-20 World Cup.
Yep.
He already played a game for the national team in the last break, so we played like all 3 tournaments in one summer. Dor Perez from Maccabi Tel Aviv, Neta Lavi from Gamba Osaka, he has Sorare cards, he should start. Oscar Gloch, I'm putting him on 85% because there is a small chance that Safuri will start ahead of him if the manager wants more possession, but I can't really see that happening. Abada on 90, Turgeman, who we have seen in the Under-20 and the Under-21 tournaments. He's the leading striker. And Weissman and Baribo are not going to play probably, so the striker position is quite weak, I would say. But hopefully Abada and Solomon can cover up. And Turgeman is not that big, but he wins every duel. Even against England, he was very, very good, even when we lost 3-0. He's a very talented player. And his manager now in Maccabi Tel Aviv is Robbie Keane. So you can't get a better manager than that if you're a striker.
Yeah, fair. A good team. And I think, the Solomon, Abada, Gluck trifecta is an under-23 dream maybe this weekend if the result comes and there's maybe 2 goals shared between the 3 of them with the way assists will drop and whatever. I think that's the perfect triangle of what you're hoping for there, isn't it? So, yeah, good fun for Israel this week. I've got an Abada and a Solomon, and I know obviously Yehonatan, you'll have them all. Harry, have you got any Israel cards this week?
Got the Gluck, yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Harry, you got to learn how to say his name. It is Gloch. Yeah.
No, I'm a Welsh speaker. We have everywhere, but I just can't be bothered saying that. It's just long. It's very long for my vocabulary.
Sopsis is in for Ross Irvin. He's loving it.
Yes, Ross. He's loving it.
Let's hope. Let's see how he does. So I think probably the next thing to look at, especially for internationals, guys, is I know it's a weekend and whatever, but as we know, the prize pools do change and fluctuate with the amount of licensed cards, teams, etc., that are running, and especially at this point, we're 54 minutes to the deadline. It's a great time to look at head counts and see actually what prizes are out there available. The hardest part of this spot is really trying to, because I like to think about when I see those big head counts, I think when you look at leaderboards often enough like we do here, you maybe get a wee bit of a sense of how many teams are realistically competitive out of 10,000, 4,000, whatever. But with this stuff, I think it's really blind. It's really hard to tell how many actual teams of note will be deployed by Sorare scouts and managers. So, Yehonatan, I think we went to you last time to do prize pool stuff. Do you want to do it again?
I have it on.
Yeah. Excellent. So if you want because I think probably one of the main points of interest is the monthly stuff that's going on. So maybe if you want to take us through all the All-Stars and we'll have a look at them and maybe the Cap 240s or something, and anything else that kind of grabs our eye for maybe head count versus cards by comparison or something.
Yeah, so I think the key in the international game weeks, like in the weekends, is the double matchups. For some teams have 2 games in one game week, and then they will take the highest score. So this really brings the threshold to win a reward up from the experience we had in the last break. So also competitions are going to be super competitive, especially when you take into account the Manflog competition. So for example, we have 205 entrances for 16 rewards in All-Star Super Rare. We have in Rare Pro 1,200 entrances for 37 prizes. So that's super competitive. 3,000 in All-Star Rare for 177. And then in Limited, we have 12,000 entrances for 700 cards. So very, very competitive in All-Star. And it has been like this for the last 2 weeks since they have introduced the 2 game weeks, since they have introduced the month-long competitions. But in the other regions, for example, in Super Rare, we have 47 entrances for 12 cards. That's a bit more reasonable, I would say. Or in under 23 Rare Pro, I know Harry is going to target this competition. We have 240 for 19 cards. So that's much better than 1,200 for 37 cards, I would say. And in limited, we have like 3,000 entrances for 333 cards in under 23, so like 10%, and only 5% in All-Star to win a reward. So All-Star is getting very, very competitive in the last few game weeks.
You've got teams in the mall.
Yeah, I have teams in the limited competitions.
Well, shows your teams, Yehonatan, shows me you're going out with all these international cards you've got rocking. So Yehonatan, for anyone that's maybe new to the show, has got lots of international cards. It's a bit of a play. There's over 100 Sorare Scouts and Managers joining us, and we've not yet hit 67 likes. Guys, come on. Get the phone out your pocket, hit the like button, and then go back to what you were doing. Oh, that's a nice team.
Yeah, that's my under 23 lineup. I have Iker Alvarez against Belarus. As I said, I think other than Diogo Costa is the best goalkeeper you can have. Dedic against Liechtenstein for Bosnia. Hopefully he can get a cheeky assist or something like that. Solomon and Abada together. I have not played Gloch here because I don't think we will score a lot of goals against Romania away. So I want to play Solomon and Abada, and I played Gloch in 220. But I have Kulusevski against Estonia, so hopefully Kulusevski can do something. In All-Star, I have Switzerland defensive stack with Sommer and Ricardo Rodriguez. And then I have the Portugal stack with Joe Cancelo, Joe Palhinha, and Cengiz Under as a differential.
Nice.
We have in Champion America, this is not related to the international game week, but Inter Miami don't have Messi, and a lot of the players they are on international duty. So hopefully they will be shit like before Messi came to the show. And I'm playing a full Sporting Kansas City stack against them. It is away, so that's not ideal. But if we can keep a clean sheet and Russell can get a decisive, this can win something.
Yeah.
Then we have a little cap to 70 lineup. Peacock Farrell, after getting 2 points in the midweek, I can't really trust him to do anything. But I have Brennan here for the Welsh, for Harry, basically. I have Solomon, Vertonghen against Azerbaijan. We have talked about that matchup. And Van Dijk did really well last night against Greece. So I have him playing against Ireland. And then we have, in 220, I'm playing a Georgia semi-stack with Davitashvili and Kvicha. Gloch, Nico, and hopefully Dimitrievski can get a lot of saves against Italy at home. But it has been either Dimitrievski or Karl Hayen against Sweden, and I think Dimitrievski is the better goalkeeper. And this academy team is filled with 5 starters, so maybe it can hit the $5, but these are just the leftovers, to be honest. And then I have a lot of academy teams just filled with players that I can't fit into a lineup.
Nice. Tons of action there, man.
Yeah, and cap to 40. I also have this with Netalavi, Solomon, Sorenstone, Evans, and Mamadashvili. So a lot going this game week. And even more will go in the midweek, which I'm more excited about.
Yeah. Those are really nice, man. I'm having a wee glance over myself at the way the head counts and everything else is kind of sitting at the moment. And yeah, I just find international so difficult to kind of gauge in that sense, because more and more now as well, obviously people are just farming coins out of teams and stuff as well. So yeah, the head count part of it is kind of hard to gauge. Harry boy, do you want to show us some teams what you've got running out for this week? Or have you got one or none?
Yeah,
or what?
Yeah, I got 2 teams to be fair.
Two. Nice.
Yeah, just a little cap to 40 and then this under 23 Rare Pro. Hoping Rodrigo can sort of carry this team a little bit. I had a couple of options here though for the supers. I could have went Nico Williams super instead of Balde. Both obviously away. or I could go Thomas Suslov instead of the Brennan Johnson. Now, obviously, Suslov has 2 fixtures, and that's kind of one's against Portugal, obviously, but the other one is against Liechtenstein. So that could be, it's just kind of judging whether or not he's going to play either, both, none.
Yeah, we have talked
Brennan
about
and
it before the
or
stream.
Brennan.
I think
It's a tough one.
Soslov can be interesting, yeah, but you should probably go with Brennan because it is the safe pick.
It is kind of the safe pick, isn't it? But this game week safe might not do it. Obviously, 19 prizes for 300 entrants or whatever. So
yeah,
you've got to be on it because there's going to be some massive scores. Rodrigo, like the Brazil. Not that there's many under 23 boys in that Brazil team, but like
Rodrigo should get 100.
You'd hope so if he can stay on the pitch and do all of Neymar's running for him and get into some decent positions. But yeah, I'm a bit not worried about the glue situation. But I wanted to play. I had a Cisse, Seydubi Cisse super rare, but he is gone away with his national team.
Oh,
so
to the AFCON.
Yeah, it would have been nice to play him, and then I don't have to play Brennan then. But yeah, kind of is what it is. And then for the cap 240,
Soslov might be the move. I'm starting to think. Yeah, I will tell you my thinking about it because Soslov against Liechtenstein can get 100. Can Brennan really get 100 against Latvia?
No, definitely not. No, definitely not.
So
you're just hoping for a goal for Brennan, which gets you 80 points as a super,
You might want to risk it if you
I know what you mean.
Top prizes.
Yeah. But then, it's definitely something I'm gonna.
It is a 50-50.
Contemplate. Yeah, I definitely contemplate. And then this is just a little cap 240 team, big Luca. And then, Sanchez has 2 game weeks. So does obviously Modric, Nico, Monday, Bazunu against Netherlands. Obviously not expecting too much. And then Kulu. Hopefully can get a decent game actually out of that Estonia game. And can we scrape the threshold basically is all I'm sort of asking for. I do have a couple of other boys like Ramsey. I do have other players, but I just don't have another goalkeeper unless Verbruggen starts for the Netherlands, which I don't think he would. But I could throw out. Yeah, he's not going to start, but that would just be the so-called farmer if I was to do that. Unless we obviously play Suslov in under 23. So two lineups for me. Quinny, what are you looking at?
I've got 5 here, but I think one of them's an academy team. What do I have? Sorry, I need to share my screen. But like I mentioned earlier, I have been waiting for teams and everything to actually show up so I can build the teams, and I've went through them a few times. I've actually just made a last wee minute change after everything we've went through today. This is quite a fun team. I'm not sure if Vasilj will play or not for Bosnia.
He won't play, probably.
What?
I think Sage will start.
Yeah, you're probably right there. I thought you said something different, so I was like, oh, what? But I think you're probably right. But I wouldn't rule it out. And a 220 team, I just thought, hey, that's a bit of fun. Moutinho's playing a game, Portuguese League. There's one game on. Braga making up for lost fixtures, maybe at qualifying or something. I don't know. We super sub, low cap price. I'm going to try and, with a 4-man team, maybe try unique kickoff this week. I've got a lot of super rares. I've got a lot for my gallery playing, but I don't have any goalkeepers, so I'm limited to pro entries for the super rares. And I just thought, why not try this? So I think Cunha will feature in the match. He's not going to start, but I think he'll come off the bench. And Medrano isn't on Play Sharper to start, but I think I've beat Play Sharper enough times to think I'm just going to take this punt, and I think Medrano will start, so I'm going to play him. And then Hendry and McGregor, obviously, against Cyprus, can speak for themselves. So 4-man effort. The kind of fly in the ointment here is there is only 1 card on, and it's not really worth much. But hey, we'll go for it anyway. Should be a bit of fun. And the actual teams that mean something. So I've made a last-minute swap. I've put Bernardo in here over Guardiola. Both have double game weeks, but just looking at the situation of all the kind of games and teams and whatever, I think Portugal have got 2 great games. Actually, I don't know. Away to Slovakia, actually, I might swap that back. Because I'm worried that the second game against Luxembourg, maybe it doesn't start that game, because Portugal do rotate a lot. I think that's what I was worried about the first time, is that I know he's wanting to start this game, but against Luxembourg in 3 days' time, maybe he doesn't start. Maybe they start somebody different. So that's what I was maybe worried about with him. I think
so. There is a Play Sharper prediction for the game against Luxembourg. Of course, you can't really know. but the guy does think Bernardo will start the 2 games. So, for example, he has Joe Felix starting against Luxembourg instead of Rafael Leao and things like that.
Okay.
So he does think he will start the 2 games.
Interesting. Okay, well, I changed my mind, and I'm going to stick with changing my mind, but I think that's why I was hesitant, and I'm still a bit hesitant around it. But I thought, either way, we know his AA, what he can do, and they're going to get goals. And the alternative is Guardiola, who I've demoted into this team. And, Guardiola probably, what do you think he peaks out at home in Latvia? Like 75, 72? It's probably like his kind of upper kind of hit.
He's good for a 70 plus against Latvia.
But I think
and this team is really close to entering under 23.
Yeah, really close. Really close. What have I got missing? Just one.
You can have a Rodrigo there.
An extra player.
Just one extra. Yeah. Who else have I got?
Get Rodrigo in there and start smashing under 23.
I'm not taking Rodrigo out of here.
Yeah, but the thing is, Quinny, the rest of the lineup, is that going to compete against the Brazil full stacks and the, I think that under 23 rare lineup could smash big time. Yehonatan, I know Yehonatan semi agrees with me.
Yeah, I think under 23.
John McGinn and
look at the prize balls, Quinny.
Tierney will do 60 plus, and McGinn can do 80.
if he's playing
for Scotland, that's what he does for Scotland.
Okay.
Do you have any other?
But you got to think there's going to be players doing 100s is the issue. Yeah, McGinn can do 80. I reckon that under 23 rare team is sneaky.
See, 79, 81. That's what he does when he does well. So I'll get an 80 out McGinn because he'll do well. Tierney. It's just 60 plus, easy.
Yeah, but that isn't good enough as a super rare for All-Star Rare Pro. It's just not.
I think international, I could do it.
Yeah, but the problem
I'm saying
is
he might do it,
but double game weeks.
Yeah.
So if you have a super that got 5 points in the first game and then he got 90 points, they will take the 90.
But I'm not too sure No, I think that's the way to go. So under 23 rare, you would throw this into 74 rewards.
For 500
1 star.
entrances.
Does Ukraine have 2 game weeks or they only have 1?
Only England.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big problem for this team.
It is a problem. I don't know how big it is though, honestly.
That's the way the team would look. The only players I've got.
Yeah, and another problem is Abada might get subbed off in like the 70th minute. He won't play the 90.
Yeah. I think that has a better chance of a reward in under 23 rare than the All-Star Rare Pro does. I'm not saying it outscores it, but I bet you it has a better chance of winning a reward. There's only 37 rewards in All-Star Rare Pro. There is how many in under 23 rare? Like 100 and something? 100
yeah, All-Star Rare Pro is super competitive. 37 rewards for over 1,200 entrances.
The chances of that lineup, if the goal is to win it, what's the goal? Is it to get a higher score or win a card? Then under 23 is, for me, I think that's where you win a card, personally. Because Rodrigo's got a good chance of scoring massive, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
as an under 23 player, where loads of other players have a good chance of scoring 100 in All-Star Rare Pro. So Rodrigo's 100 is just like a regular 100. You know what I'm saying? That 100 in under 23 is kind of worth more than it is in under 20 in All-Star Rare Pro. Josh said, so 60s aren't going to cut in. So Josh is correct. I think he's very correct.
Yeah, not all the way across.
Who is your alternative?
No, not of course all the way across, but
60 if he does 62 with his bonus, he's all right. If he does 80, that's cool. And then Bernie and Rodrigo, they're smashing 80 plus. All Black brings in his clean sheet.
Bring the clean sheet.
So, Quinny, don't you think Johnny Russell can be good instead of Rodrigo and then go under 23?
Nah, wouldn't touch them. I wouldn't touch him over them. Away, no chance.
But
he's at home.
They don't have Messi. Remember how did Inter Miami look before Messi came?
I know, but I don't think I would take that over Rodrigo.
No, but then you play under 23.
You can play both then, can you?
Yeah. You just need Russell in Pro, like in All-Star Pro.
So I'd have...
You will have the exactly same team with Johnny Russell instead of Rodrigo, and then you will have, or maybe Robertson instead of Bernardo if you want, like the full
Nah,
Scotland
I
stack.
wouldn't. Or maybe I should. No, I want to put Bernardo
I
in
would
there,
go for Bernardo, yeah.
but interesting. Let
I just think
me.
All-Star Red Pro is so competitive. It's beyond the it is beyond the joke, especially in this specific game week where the matchups are just outrageous. Unless you've got 3 cards to score 100 or close to it, I'd say you might as well just forget it.
I think I've got that here. McGinn will do that. Rodrigo will do that. And Bernardo will do that. That's 3 guys that'll get to 100. They're punching into it.
Yeah,
And then
Oblak
Tierney
will
and
get a
Oblak will
clean
do their
sheet.
thing.
Oblak will get a clean sheet, that's for sure. So you have like, let's say 60 flat, because San
60.
Marino are not.
I've
San
got some
Marino
XP
are
on
not.
him. Got some XP on him. So it's pushing 70. Matt Oblak will be pushing 70. That's what he'll be doing.
Yeah, he's level 20, isn't he?
Yeah. And then Tierney's on 32.5. McGinn's on 33. I think this team's cooking, man. This team is cooking.
I don't know. I just think the Guardiola and the Rodrigo playing under 23 is big. Like that, there's 200 points alone, I would say. 70
Yeah,
or 80
and
on
Solomon is
Guardiola,
not getting
Captain
less than
Rodrigo.
60. Solomon
you
is
could-
not getting less than 60 in under 23.
As long as Trubin doesn't concede, even if he does, I don't know. If he doesn't concede 3, he's probably going to get a decent AA, isn't he? If we're being honest. I
Right.
think there's a reward in there for you, Quinny, in under 23 rare. I do, mate. Where even if you score well in All-Star Rare Pro, I don't think there's a reward there for you. I think there's 37 better teams than that. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the game. There's 1,300 lineups in there, and you just got to think some of those teams, Quinny, are like frightening. Where like your under 23 lineup is like it's bordering on like the Rodrigo Guardiola plays is big. I think the Solomon Abada, it's not unbelievable, but they can definitely hit together. And then it's just the only worry there is Trubin. Realistically,
like Ross is saying, Trubin concedes 3 and kills it. I don't think goal. If you can have your goalkeeper without a clean sheet in this international game week, because if you look at under 23 goalkeepers matchups, there's not a lot of good out there. Like
I want to put it into context. I won a reward with 2 players this game. Could we like? Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And that was in under 23 rare. So I'm not saying it's going to be as easy. It's not going to be that easy this weekend. Don't get me wrong, but it's just less competitive down there, lads. It's just a fact, and I'm just.
And All-Star Pro is too competitive. It is like not even reasonable. Only 37 prizes for 1,200.
Like if it was like 80 prizes in All-Star Rare Pro, I'd be like, you know what, Quinny, you probably got a chance there, or even like 60 prizes. But 37 is so low; it's unbelievable. I think. Off the beat saying, are we presuming that Israel comfortably? No, we're definitely not. We're definitely not saying that.
No.
Or you don't need them to comfortably beat Romania for Abada and Solomon to share one decisive between each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if Israel score a goal, the chances are it's going to be one of the front 3 or Gluch, yeah?
I think I can't really see us winning comfortably anywhere.
No, definitely not.
Not even like against Belarus in the midweek, because our national team is not strong enough to do that type of thing. But we are always good for a goal with a player like Solomon, and Abada is always like in the box with very good positioning, and so we can do something.
I think that
Romania
team hits like 360 points. I would say that's my guess.
I'm halfway.
I don't know what that wins you, but I think it wins you something. Put it that way.
I'm halfway tempted, but I need to make it work. So I'm thinking about what the rest of the players. I've only 1 striker left. So that's 2 strikers into one team, which is kind of fine anyway, because the amount of goalkeepers I've got, it's not really an issue in that sense, I suppose. But it does limit me for what I could feasibly do.
You can put Duffy.
I could do Duffy, yeah. I was actually turning away from Duffy there.
João Moutinho.
I could do Moutinho was a bit of just a fun play and a fun team.
He's not starter.
Yeah, he played a cup game, 403. That wasn't that long ago. Nice, so he's been in town.
I would not touch Haksabanovic at the moment.
Yeah.
But Duffy, even when they lost like 2-0, he got 36 points.
Yeah, and who are they playing? Holland? Holland are a bit mince anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, but you never know with them, to be honest.
What about Maxi? Does he come off the bench?
Big Maxi.
Sorry, guys, for this, but yeah, he does 10 minutes.
Oh, sorry, this is real life contemplations, Quinny. This is
18 minutes. Nothing there. Yeah, 16 minutes. Yeah, comes off the
I
bench.
would not play him ahead of Duffy.
6. Fair. But I like the chance. I suppose it's not a great game anyway to come off the bench in. Yeah, you're quite right there. But it's just more like if he comes off the bench for 25, yes, Duffy's probably the play. Okay, so do we think these teams look better than what I had the first time? Oh, so so this is where I get to here, I think, is then I can ditch Medrano.
Yeah, you can ditch Medrano, get the boys back.
But I still kind of play them all. I can only play. Well, I'd probably take McGinn over Tierney. And I've only got Quinny as a forward.
Yeah.
I'd be able to make that team a bit better.
If Quinny gets 30 minutes, he can get a decisive against Bolivia.
So do you think those teams are better than what I had in the first place?
I think you have no real chance to win a reward in All-Star Pro, and you have a good chance to win something in under 23. Like if you want to take a look on the big score for goalkeepers, so you have Trubin against England. It's not great. I have it on screen now. The big score for all the under 23 goalkeepers for this game week. So you have Bazunu.
Disregard the Bazunu one.
Yeah, just ignore it. Costa, of course, is the best pick you have in this game week probably, because he also has a double game week against Luxembourg. Mamardashvili, I think he will concede against Spain. Maybe not 3 goals, but he will concede probably. Le Roman, that's a second division goalkeeper, but at an A score, his matchup is not that great. Iker Alvarez, in my opinion, is a great pick for this game week, but then you are getting to like Karl Hayen, Trubin, goalkeepers that won't even start, like Campos and Moro.
Mm-hmm.
So even if Trubin concedes 3, you are still good to win something, because there are not a lot of good goalkeepers.
It's just Costa that's really going to get a clean sheet, and maybe Alvarez, right? That's basically
Costa, and there are not a lot of Alvarez cards. Like he has
good point.
15 rare cards.
And who knows? They might not even be played in under 23 rare. They might be played in rare pro. So
yeah,
capped. Honestly, I think the fact that you've got like if you didn't have Guardiol, I'd be like, okay, maybe I wouldn't go in the 23 rare because the two powerhouses you have is Guardiol and Rodrigo, right? Like there's kind of as good as it gets for those two positions this game week, I would say, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, we can take a look on that if you want.
40% of your lineup is as good as it gets, and then the other 60%, 40% is the Israel boys, which isn't like bad at all. And then obviously it is a goalkeeper, but I still think there's a reward in there for you, 100%.
So this makes me want to maybe play this instead and just play All-Star.
Against 6,000 players.
Yeah, that All-Star is too competitive.
Bring him on. How many of that 6,000 again? Like
there's only 3,000 to be fair. There's 3,000, but
3,000 even at that. How many of them have got a team as good as this? 100, 150. How many teams have got a team as good as this?
I'd say that's all Black Vardio Rodrigo is like the 3 as far as like how good they're going to score. Robertson's, you just don't know what if he gets an assist, yeah, great. Bernardo, obviously double game week helps. But you got to think who like people with like Neymar. Like, do you know what I mean? There's so many crazy players outside of that 5. Do you know what I mean? That's your issue. I'm not saying they're not good scores. I'm just saying that like there's just going to be massive scores. Modric will probably score, and like there's going to be so many hundreds, boys. I'm not even
Yeah,
like.
and for example, in this lineup, you have Oblak. You don't have Oblak in under 23. You don't have Bernardo Silva in under 23. It's just less competitive. And with the team that you can put out, you are very good. Like you can win.
Your chances
something.
increase massively in under 23.
Like Gvardiol is, according to Sorare Data Pick Score, is top 10 under 23 defender for this game week. And they have players without cards here, like Empadu. And Rodrigo, I believe Rodrigo is the best under 23 forward for this game week. Your only real weak spot is Solomon and Abada. And if someone in Israel gets a decisive, it is Solomon. And then the second likely to get a decisive is Abada. So
I'm looking at these pick scores as well. Yeah, Quinny, honestly, you've got a decent chance in under 23 wear, mate. Like a very decent chance.
Let's go for it. In it to win it.
The only like worry I would say is like Ricky Puig will probably rip 80 plus in midfield. Kochu will probably rip a decent score. Other than that, it's not many of the midfielders. Maybe Saka. But then, yeah, Rodrigo's top. Isak might do decent against Estonia. Kulusevski, potentially. Again, okay, Doku. Sesko. There's a couple of decent forwards, but you've got the best forward, you know?
It is not only the pick score, like it's playing Bolivia. Bolivia
for sure.
are atrocious. They can't do anything against Brazil.
100%. Someone said that Josh says a lot of people will use their under 23 pieces in All-Star too, because they won't have a full under 23 team, and that's so correct.
Yeah.
Like the amount of non-full under 23 lineups in under 23 rare, so was it 535 entrants? I guarantee you when Sorare Data's sort of lineups, open up after the hour, I guarantee you will be
50 plus
30 to 40%. You reckon 50?
I would say 50 plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe 40 to 50%.
There are just not a lot of options in under 23. Like, for example, next midweek, I've already looked at it. You only have like 3 to 5 defenders that can
start. There's hardly anyone, isn't there?
3 to 5. I bought a defender just to fill up and like a full team. And I believe I can win under 23 if I have a full lineup in the midweek. But 100%. Under 23s on internationals, you just don't have a lot of options.
I'm up for it, guys. I think my kickoff team's a wee bit better. And yeah, I think the 240 isn't any less secure. I'm just worried that Trubin gets humped. That's my main thing. If Trubin gets humped and Abada gets subbed off at 50, 60 minutes with 30, I'll be fucking annoyed.
Abada might be problematic because the manager does like to sub him off early, but he did that when we had better options up top. Now we do not have a lot of options, and surely Abada stays on the pitch more time than Turgeman does. So
fair. So and I like what Harry's and I like what you're talking about in terms of as soon as the game week locks in. Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think out of 500, I think the field will be swept, and I think that's kind of the deciding factor for me. Where I'm just going to say, screw it, let's go and get it. And now it's just with filling it, throwing them out for the weekend.
I think your 240 team looks very good too. It's Oblak, Bernardo Silva. Only Duffy is the weak spot there. Even Russell. I back Russell to get a decisive against Miami.
I hope so.
And Russell's all-around game is very good.
I think so too. I think it'll be a good one for that. Just got to hope it comes in. So I actually feel a wee bit more. I feel a wee bit more happy. I don't know. I was really excited about that pro team. I think that pro team is. I do really feel like I'm giving up a good chance at that, but the actual head count in this division is very low, and I do think I've probably got the pieces to make the difference, So yeah, I think like I was saying to you, out of that 6,000, how many people have got a team that strong? When you're saying those numbers to me, I'm thinking, well, I'm probably in the top 20 of teams straight away, as soon as the game week starts, maybe top 50 at a push, but like, So yeah, I feel quite more. I just hope I bloody finish on the podium now, just to make it worth it. I think that's kind of where I'm at. It needs to be like.
We'll be taking our 20% each, me and Yehonatan.
Well, let's see what the the Scottish Super do as well, because we're watching how they pan out. But yeah, I can even win something in that kickoff now as well, with a wee bit more firepower. So.
And now we're cheering for the same players. You and Harry for Rodrigo. We all for Solomon, Abada, Gloch.
Yeah. We're all chasing the same. We're centered around a few teams this week. It should be good fun. I'll be planning on. I'm watching the Scotland game tonight. I don't know if I'll be watching it at work or at home, as it were. But I'll definitely be watching it tonight. I think Croatia play tonight as well, don't they?
Yeah, we can take a look.
Yeah, Croatia play tonight.
So the games, if you want to take a look when.
Does Friday night start to extend into the international break, or is Friday night football just okay for internationals?
The Friday night chaos is always on.
Yeah, it's always available.
So we have Georgia against Spain early tonight, 7 o'clock in Israel, so it will be 5 o'clock for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a lot of games in the evening. We have Scotland, Portugal, Bosnia, Turkey. And then tomorrow we have all the we have Brazil playing in the middle of the night, like between today and tomorrow. And then we have Belgium playing really early tomorrow. Israel is playing like tomorrow night. Italy, Switzerland. And then on Sunday we have more games like Poland, Netherlands. Basically all the teams that played yesterday will play on Sunday.
I'll quite look forward to not watching much football over the weekend. Now that I've heard that, I'll be able to watch a good wee bit tonight probably, and then be able to just watch the Sorare teams, watch the scores roll in, and get ready for the midweek, and then getting back at it. So that sounds good to me, man. Other than the Israel game, Yehonatan, is there anything you're particularly excited about watching?
Yeah, what I like to do is we have a channel that just has all the one main game on, and then whenever there is a goal scored in another game, they just talk about that and show the goal. So when Israel is not playing, I'm just watching that, and then I see all the goals.
Nice, man. Well, Joe, that's quite cool. I think Sky will have a wee bit of that maybe at some point, but I think for the Euros, actually, it's a wee bit of I think they do highlights. I think if you watch one of the games live, they tend to show you lots of the stuff you've missed, more than that kind of rotating vibe, which sounds fun. What about yourself, Harry? Anything over the international break?
Yeah, I'll watch Spain in the next 2 hours, to be fair. They play at 5. So I'll probably watch that. Maybe Croatia after that, actually, against Latvia.
Nice.
I have a game myself tomorrow, to be fair, so I won't be able to watch anything in the daytime. But yeah, tomorrow evening, what we got down here? Italy, maybe. Obviously, Israel. Yeah, I'll try and... I don't know how I'll be able to watch it, but I'm sure I'll be able to find something to watch that on.
On the dark web.
Yeah.
On the dark web. Nothing on Sunday. And then Monday, obviously, Wales. So yeah, today, tomorrow, Monday, I'll probably skip Sunday, to be fair.
Nice. Let's see what the chat's given it as well. Feels like a wee while since I've seen the chat. Surely there is. Do you think Jose Sa plays at least one or two of the games? Surely there's some rotation. Jose Sa is Portuguese? I wouldn't think so.
No, I believe he's from Spain.
Is he Spanish? No.
No.
I don't think you're going to get any rotation. Unai Simon is in, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Portuguese. No, he's not playing any game.
Fair enough. Oh, Pico's got a nice team here. Bazunu, Dedic, Kokshu, Campana, and Puig. That's a fun team.
Yeah, it's a good team. That is a good team. Very decent.
But again, in this team, Bazuno, you don't really want to play him against the Netherlands.
Yeah, so that's the issue.
Under 23 goalkeepers are a bit problematic.
Somebody's here saying he is Portuguese.
Yeah, he's Portuguese. But he won't start ahead of Costa.
Yeah,
Costa is as nailed as they can.
I'm getting last minute jitters on this team now. I've seen that team. I'm thinking, Dedic and there's Cockchews and all that. I think my super rares are the differential. I think Scotland smash, man.
I think you are disrespecting Cyprus at home. Israel have played Cyprus a couple of times in the last few years, and away from home they are always good.
Maybe. Castanos will punish Quinny. No, he won't. Some guy plays in Apoel or something. I don't know. I also, when I look at that team now, what makes me worried is the Trubin and not All Black. I'm like, I've got All Black playing San Marino. Like, that is 60 points on ice. Like, just waiting.
Yeah, but even All Black, it is not more than 60 points because they do not know how to shot in.
He'll make a few passes and then I'll get 10%. So he'll probably push 70. You know, he'll probably get 68, 67. You know, which is fun for a keeper. And how many of them will be going around this window or this break or this fucking game week? Oh, I'm so torn. But I think all we need is Solomon to pass to Abada for a shot, and we're
and we have seen that happen.
Yeah.
Past.
If we get that, then it's
Solomon loves Abada, and they have played together in their youth years for Petah Tikva in Israel, so they do know it.
This makes me feel a little bit better. Now, we all know what All Black can be like, but we've got some confirmation from Slovenia that even against San Marino, they're not confident of an All Black clean sheet.
do you know that San Marino fan account on Twitter?
Yeah.
It's the funniest account.
Pico.
Yeah, that is actually...
Pico is good fun. And Chanot's got good scores as well, but his cap is 63. He's very expensive to get into cap modes, which I would be playing outside of the best team. But Chanot could be good, but again, it's just you're playing on a cheat code maintaining, and he's getting older, so I'd rather not put him in my best team. I'd put him in a team if I needed him, but
he won't have a jet lag this time around. He moved to France, to Ajaccio, something like that.
Yeah. I think he played he played already, so I hope he plays a wee bit more, get a wee bit of utility at that
he
card.
He played and he got an assist. But he did not get any all-around score.
As he was thinking, wasn't it? I think the chat was popping off about it. So I've still got a 220 out. It's a bit of a punt. I don't know. That should squish in the 50 quid. And then we're hoping, praying it would become a top 100 effort somehow.
This would easily get a 50 quid.
Yeah. That'll run home, you hope, anyway. I don't want to jinx it. That's what I'm worried about.
If this team wins with something, that would be a sick video.
I just think Trubin, Solomon, Abada, I can't just... it's just over McGinn, Tierney and All Black feels so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, but
how many... You've got to think who they're playing against. You've got to think who are those three Scotland players playing against an All-Star Pro? They're playing against all the Brazil boys. They're playing against Portugal with two fixtures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not... You can't compare your cards versus your cards. It's your cards versus who who you're playing against, right?
No,
in a weird way.
It's a tough, let go move. I don't mind the whole moving down. You know me. I don't mind the whole just make sure I try and win, but it just feels a wee bit counterintuitive. But I'm totally with the logic, and I'm going to stick with it. But I'm just trying to talk myself in and out of it as often as I can to make sure I'm happy when that deadline happens. You know.
Even Denmark, Quinny, they play Finland, which is not an easy matchup, but Denmark do not have anyone who is under 23 other than Skovalson and Jonas Wind. Or maybe Lindstrom. I don't think Lindstrom is under 23. Yeah, he's under 23. So their attacking three can play against you, but Højbjerg, Eriksen, Kier, Mahele, all of these guys, you will face them in All-Star and you won't face them in under 23. And they are super scorers. Højbjerg is insane in international game weeks.
David Taylor's got my back here. It's like, it feels like that comment is, that guy when you've had too much to drink on a night out and you're about to do something stupid, and then your mate just grabs you and like that. They just say something to you and they just sober you up. And you're like, you're right. I should not be fighting that guy, or whatever it is. So it feels like one of them, David. So thanks, mate. Keeping it in there. Harry knows what I'm talking about, don't you, Harry?
I do, mate.
I'd argue Trubin is capable of scoring more. Now, I think Trubin is an AA monster, as we know. He is the wall. He's a legend.
Yeah.
But it's the whole conceding free thing. I think Ukraine are not likely to concede free against England, but you look at the England team and saying they won't concede free feels like a sin. It feels like...
Yeah, you can't say they won't.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Robin
it's
is a
tough
very good shot stopper.
Harry Kane's a very good goal scorer.
He did drop a 25 in the last game, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
I think Nesbitt will
But did you
I would be
see?
surprised if Nesbitt doesn't get a cap, just to address that comment there, sorry. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get capped in this game, but I'm not the guy to ask, sorry. Hendo, who might even be here, is the man to ask.
I will be watching Nisbet when I get to London. I've booked tickets to a Millwall match.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm trying to buy a Millwall stack for that game. They are playing, I think, Hull City. So
Nice.
that should be fun.
Aye, so Josh will be interested in that then. He's a Hull guy. Josh loves a bit of Hull. So that should be a good game. Millwall today, I know they've been busy on Sorare, but they don't have any Israel internationals, do they?
No, they don't.
No.
But Solomon is playing at Luton, and I don't think I can get tickets to Luton, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So we will see Solomon in December. I'm coming to London in December too. So Solomon is playing at home to Newcastle. So we'll try to get tickets to that.
That should be a good one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to try and get some stuff sorted out over the next couple of weeks for some trips and doing some fun stuff, hopefully with community members and all that good stuff. I think Sorare Sevens has been booked for April already.
Wow.
Which, talk about forward planning, 7 months away. So anyway, I think there's a lot of stuff in the offing. And I'll be looking forward to planning some trips as well, Yehonatan. I'll be looking forward to seeing you when you come over. There's about 10 minutes to the deadline, guys. I've kind of talked myself in and out of stuff enough times it's probably bored everyone. I think that's about us locked in for the game week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck to everyone that's been with us. We hope all your teams are locked in and ready to go. Do not forget to do your academy teams in these final minutes. And we'll be back next week for the deadline stream, which will be back to domestic action. And it's going to be hopefully with some 3D cards in the reward pool. Maybe the Premier League will be on. Maybe we'll have some other stuff from around Europe as well. It should be a good one. Good luck to everyone. If again, guys, we're only at 50 likes. If you want reward luck, you need to like the stream. Before you leave, hit the like button. Link to Harry's channel is in the description of the video here as well. You can find Yehonatan at YehonatanGarji as it's spelled on screen, on Twitter and everywhere else, of course. And yeah, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. You can say bye. You can talk.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys, once again for this international stream.
All the best, lads.